Hello everyone, this is Lais from Be Happy Now, and today I would like to talk a little bit about past lives and how they influence us in this life. And I have so many stories to share about my own experiences with my own past lives and also those of my clients, but I'll try and keep it short just to encourage you a little bit to start thinking about past lives and that there might be something to explore in your life that you haven't explored yet. So typically, if you have any anxieties, panic attacks, inexplicable fears in this life that you just don't know why they're there, where they come from, there might be a past life trauma behind it. Might. I'm not saying that in every case it's like that, but chances are high that there are past lives that still need to be healed, so you can move forward without these anxiety attacks. Anyway, for me, past lives and this whole topic of reincarnation came into my life when I was 18 years old. And I grew up in a semi-spiritual family. My dad is German. He was not spiritual at all. But my mom, who's Brazilian, she was very spiritual. So she gave me this book called Many Masters, Many Lives by Brian Weiss. And if you're interested in past lives, if you want to understand more about what I'm talking about here, if you want an easy entry read into this topic, I really, really, really recommend this book. It's by this top-notch US psychiatrist that is presenting all his case studies with his clients that under hypnosis went back into past lives and they could heal amazing things in their life now. Anyway, after I read that book, I felt so much better because growing up, my biggest fear was not death itself, the death process, but my biggest fear was that nothing would happen afterwards. And it just scared the crap out of me that just like that, our life is over, nothing happens, it's all gone. And I always hoped, that there would be more, but I wasn't sure. I had really tremendous fears around this topic. And that book just removed all those fears for good, because I just knew there's more to life, there's more to what happens after we die. And I just found it amazing that we come back again and again here on earth to learn lessons. Many times with the same people, we meet them again and again and again, and we learn lessons together. So this whole topic is really outlined so well in the book, and I really recommend you to read those case studies. Anyway, let's forward the time. I'm dating this guy. He was my boyfriend, but from the beginning, it was just the toughest relationship I was ever in. He broke up every few weeks, and then we came back together. It was pull and push all the time, but I just couldn't let go, and it was really a toxic relationship. And even though people around me started saying, you know what, you don't look happy in this relationship, I knew I wasn't happy, he knew he wasn't happy, but we just couldn't let go. It was really a karmic relationship. And karmic relationships happen when we have past lives together and they didn't end in a nice way, or there are still things that need to be resolved, need to be forgiven, or need to be, understood in order for you to move ahead as a couple, or you finally feel free to let go of each other, and that's what happened in our case. Anyway, to talk about this past life example, in this life, my ex was so scared of driving. He never did a driving license, even though he badly needed one. But he had this inexplicable fear that he didn't know where it came from. There was never any accident in his life. No one in his family had died of a car accident. No one even had a car accident. So it was really, he didn't have a clue where this fear came from. And when I started with my Reiki training, part of it was, of course, to heal ourselves first. And the day I was doing my Reiki training, I suddenly started feeling awful. And I was so sad and upset, and I didn't know why. I usually was happy in that period. But that day I woke up with just so much sadness that I didn't know where it came from. And once I finally had a Reiki treatment done on me, I had these visions of a past life. It was around 18th century, and me and this ex-boyfriend, we were married back then as well, and we had 3 kids together. And he was driving this horse carriage where we were all sitting inside, me next to him and the kids in the back. And then he caused a big, massive accident, and we lost the kids. They all died, and that was this trauma that he brought forward into this life, not being able to forgive himself for causing the death of our 3 kids. So when I saw this, I was just crying, letting go of all the sadness and the pain that I felt in that past life. And the most amazing thing is, once that past life got cleared, he went and did the driving license, no problem. He's driving around. Nowadays, he never had any fears around driving anymore. All it took was one healing session, understand where this fear is coming from, and then heal it. And after we healed that past life, we also were able to let go of each other with love and respect. And that was just a beautiful process. And of course, it was painful in the moment of letting go of each other, but it was just necessary. We just came together really to heal this trauma, and then we could let go. But I also know of couples where once they healed, any trauma from a past life, they could finally be happier together. So it really, there's no set direction that the relationship has to go once you heal a past life. It can go either way. Anyway, that was one of my examples. Now I want to share with you an example I recently had with a client. It was a few days ago, actually. And I didn't know this client. I didn't know anything about her. I started the healing. So I saw a past life where she was living in Spain. She was a beautiful woman. She was a young dancer. And she was dancing in this house of this rich, influential man. And they started an affair. They were lovers. They had this affair. But she became pregnant. And he didn't want to have that baby with her, to be with her, to commit to her. And he forced her to have an abortion. This was 17th century Spain, so I'm not sure what kind of methods they used back then, but it caused her to never be able to fall pregnant again. So all that life she was, deeply upset because of that one abortion, and also because she could never fall pregnant again. Anyway, so when I shared this with this lady that I was doing the healing for, she was so amazed because she told me, you know what, I had a lucky life, everything worked out, but the one thing that really never worked was me falling pregnant. And there was nothing physically wrong. She did all the tests, the doctors couldn't find anything. It was just, she always felt there was some deeper meaning to why she didn't fall pregnant, and that was just her finally realizing why. And the most amazing thing in this story is, how the two met. And by the way, the rich, influential man in that past life was her husband in this life. So just by being with him and carrying those memories of what he did to her in the past life, she had these subconscious mind fears of, again, falling pregnant with the same man, Anyway, nowadays they have a beautiful marriage, but the only thing that didn't work out was the pregnancy thing. And well, so how did they meet in this life? Dancing. Isn't that amazing? She told me, yeah, we met on the dance floor. And just like in the past life where she was dancing for him, we were dancing together now in this life. So as you can see, we meet the same people again and again and again, and we learn lessons together. And if past life didn't end in a nice way, we might be carrying the traumas, the fears, the sadness into this life, including things like not becoming pregnant, or it just amazes me. Every single past life that I see, from my clients, from myself, it always amazes me how it relates to this life and how powerful it is to heal these past lives so we can move forward, being a happier version of ourselves, letting go of the heaviness. And typically people feel so much lighter after healing past lives that had a big influence on this life. So these are just 2 examples that I wanted to share with you quickly today, just to maybe spark an interest in past lives. So you go ahead and read some more books on it or do some research. It's really a fascinating topic. And if you feel like you're in a karmic relationship or you have inexplicable fears and traumas, feel free to drop me a message and just outline what you're going through. I'm really happy to read your emails. I always love to do that and to give you some guidance on, what you can do, or to give you my insight on if I really believe there's a past life behind it or not. Okay, I can connect with your energy also via distance, and I will tell you if I believe there's a past life influence. So, my dears, that was it for today, and hope to see you soon. Bye bye.